Hey, everybody, you're listening to Bedtime Stories from Sleep With Me. If you enjoy these story-only versions of Sleep With Me, please use the contact form on our website to let me know. You get a lot of value out of this. And if you're looking for more sleep stuff, you know, Sleep With Me now comes out 3 times a week, 2 new episodes, 1 classic episode. Then we have 2 episodes of Bedtime Stories from Sleep With Me every week. So you could listen to Sleep With Me 5 nights a week if you need to. Now, if you're looking for ad-free episodes, more story-only episodes, going back into the archives, bonus episodes, all intro episodes, Fearless Flyer episodes, on location episodes, all intro episodes, all night episodes, check out Sleep With Me Plus. Not only do you get all of that stuff, and it's all organized and easy to access in different podcasts, you get to support this podcast so that we can be here and keep trying out new stuff to help you sleep and a bunch of other people, and you can do all that at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. Thanks.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can find options that fit your budget and potentially lower your bills. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, soda machines, traditional soda machines, freestyle soda machines, and even, create homemade, even people that even if you, the tools you use to make your soda at home, whether you got carbonate, whether, I don't know. You might be confused. That one petered out quick. I said, what, what would be good for a Sleep With Me analogy, especially for this episode, Nuns in Space? Some sort of soda machine. And nope, petered out quick. Those bubbles, flat as my soda on a summer afternoon after sitting outside for 4 hours. It's time for Sleep With Me, the podcast that's here to, if you're new, I'm so glad you're here. Give the show a few tries, see how it goes. I'm here to keep you company and take your mind off of stuff so you could fall asleep. And the reason I make the show, and the reason a lot of the people that are regular listeners listen along is because, it gets lonely for us in the deep, dark night. And the fact is, you deserve a good night's sleep. You deserve a place you can rest. So I'm here to keep you company, but you don't need to listen to me. And you'll probably already figure, you say, if this is what I'm dealing with. So I'm here to keep you company and take your mind off stuff because you deserve a good night's sleep. And the way the show works is we're going to start off with some support. That's how we come out free twice a week. Then there'll be an intro that'll go on and on and on and not make any sense. And then there'll be our bedtime story. It's episodically modular, so you can listen to it in any order. It's about a freestyle soda machine in space and so much more. And I think that's it. I'm out of metaphors. Well, I started with no metaphors and I finished with none. Because it's time for Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. And here's a couple of ways we're able to do it for you for free twice a week. All right, everybody, Scoots here, and it's time for our episodically modular series, Nuns in Space, and I'll explain what the show is, what you need to know. Really nothing is the great thing. Episodically modular means you can listen to these episodes in any order, because it's just a basic setup, and so, and you say, well, I don't know about that. I'm a completist. I say, okay, well, this is then like Star Wars or whatever, where they started with this is episode 9, I believe. But the show's so episodically modular that it might not be 9. I might move stuff around. But you say, okay, then episode 9, 10, 11, and 12 are the main series, and then 1 through 8 are a prequel. A series of prequels that are also episodically modular. Yeah, so that means you can listen in any order, no pressure. Nuns in Space is a tale of a freestyle soda machine who is our heroic figure, Stan. And Stan is caught in a loop, some sort of loop. I don't think it's like a metaverse loop because Stan seems to be staying in the same universe which is our universe, the great vast universe galaxy existence we're in, though a little bit in our future. I can't explain. Only the power of fiction could enable me to tell something that hasn't happened yet. So Stan is a heroic figure. Stan's caught in a loop where every time, this is a episodically modular part, in every episode, Stan comes to awareness somewhere in the galaxy or the universe where Stan is trying to help. And Stan's trying to help, but Stan's used to having a sidekick named Scooter to help kind of Stan solve things. And Stan's usually helping with some sort of situation that involves concentrated delusion, but Stan doesn't know that either at the time. Stan just knows there's an issue. Again, like you say, okay, there's a case of spilled milk. So Stan would say, how are we going to clean this milk up? Or no reason to, let me soothe you. It seems like you spilled some milk and you're crying. And then, but there's a level of delusion there, which I guess in that case you'd say the milk was never spilled. I mean, I don't know how delusion would fit into that example. So not a great, I guess you'd say I poured the milk out. Also, this is an art exhibit and you've crossed over the velvet rope. That would be more of a confusion. If you're confused, so am I. But so you get the idea. It's more of a cosmic issue normally that Stan's helping with, not something as simple as, who knew I could make spilt milk? But I say, that'd be something interesting. It would have to be more than someone just crying over spilled milk for it to be, in my opinion, not gallery worthy, but gallery intriguing. Where I say, oh boy, I'll go check that out, or museum quality. But, not all my imaginations, most of my imaginations are not a museum quality. Maybe one of those many museums of curiosity you see somewhere out on the county routes, not the state route or the interstates. On county route, double aught, that's where Scoots' Museum of Curiosity would exist if it existed. Oh, but I'm trying to explain. So that's episodically modular. So Stan's trying to fix things and could use help from his sidekick, Scooter. Scooter, though, is also caught in a loop, maybe the same loop. He's on a ship with the nuns in space, the nuns from his childhood. He's their only crew member. He's tasked with helping them with whatever their issue is. So he's trying to help the nuns from his childhood solve something on their ship, but he doesn't know that he has a mission to go help Stan. So he is retaining some awareness. What he knows is when he acts as a good crew member and solves the nun's problem, a portal opens, or he can discover a portal to get to Stan, to help Stan. And then it all begins again, and where it begins is with our Hollywood announcer, who's, I've been going through a season of gratitude, grateful for his generosity. He's he can be over generous with his bodily noises, not that kind of bodily noise you giggle about, but his bodily noises, they make you giggle in a way, not like an uncomfortable giggle. Like, did that person pass gas? Thanks goodness it's them and not me. More of like, like I said, his hair tingles when when he smiles. I don't think you can totally audibly hear it, but you can if you're on the mic and you're, using gain and all that stuff, where it makes a pinging type sound. And other stuff, even when he moves, like he moves in ways that are mysteriously, normally quiet to the human ear, but not to the microphone. His ways are mysteriously noisy, though not on purpose. He just has maybe that's what he has, audible charisma. Has this come up before? Have we captured that? I mean, that's just a way to sum up Antonio Banderas. Charismatic, yes. Generous, yes. Audibly. I guess you're audibly generous. You say, oh, no problem. But your charisma has a sound to it. You're like the great podcast that just is finished up its season 2. It makes a sound. Your charisma, it makes a sound, Antonio. Also check out It Makes a Sound in your podcast app of choice. Mr. Antonio Banderas. This is a Friends Beyond the Binary. This is ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Wim and Cody. And all, this is a great podcast. It Makes a Sound. Check it out. But for now, it's time for another episode of Nuns in Space. Yes. Thanks, Antonio. Thanks, Scooter. This is Nuns in Space. Hey, pen pal. Hey, pen pal. It's me, Stan. Holy cow, pen pal. Am I, pen pal, I'm afraid to say it out loud. But the only reason I'm saying it out loud is actually, this is something I learned from my friend Scooter, who I miss. I don't know, Scooter, if you're listening. I miss you. Things are going really good, pen pal. I think I'm actually feeling happiness that I've never felt before. And I don't have a crush on anybody, pen pal. It's not like that. I'm really feeling useful and, wow, and challenged. And I do miss my friends. Again, Scooter, if you're listening, be great to have you. But, well, I don't want to say no pressure. I would say, Scooter, this is a great opportunity for us as friends, for you to come when you get this message and hear it, to be here as soon as possible. And let me see if I can explain everything. Wow, pen pal. Now, we're in a part of the universe or the galaxy, in case Scooter's listening. I just got to, I'm going to use, Scooter, no offense, I'm just using relatable terms. So we're in a part of the universe where there's this great body of water. Now, not like the water you're picturing, Scooter. It's, let's see. I'm trying to figure out a way to explain it. So there's a great for this part of the universe, this is their main water source. And it's so massive, pen pal, that it would be hard to put into your mind. But it's also spread across space in different forms. And it is something that it's similar to a reservoir, but it's a natural reservoir. Or it's just a natural, okay, Scooter, I'm trying to explain it. So there's a quasar. I don't know how to make it. So there's water vapor, right? And then it also becomes ice. So imagine across a long distance, Scooter, pen pal, I'm sorry. Pen pal, I know there'd be different levels of understanding. That's why I'm trying. So there's a place that we're going to say, Scooter, this is the hot place, the quasar. And water's being pulled in there from other parts of space, but it's also changing its forms, right? And then it's being pulled in and then ejected, I guess, in a form that I would say is, it's not mist, Scooter. Good question. Let's just say it's water vapor. And then drifting away from that quasar, but concentrated because of gravitational forces, but not all caught in the gravitational force, is water vapor and slowly changing to ice. We'll just say that's the easy way. Now, this is a long trailing thing. And it's the main water supply for kind of enough sentient beings that it would be hard to explain the number. But if you just shrink it down, you'd say just like one reservoir. See, the thing is, this is not it would be kind of like, I guess, so in California, they have the snow that goes on the mountains. And then the snow melts and goes down to the rivers and then goes, but it also goes to the sky and rains and snows. And that would be the equivalent of what I mean as a reservoir in this situation. Like that eventually makes its way to be of use to different beings all along that thing. Now, That's a natural process, but human beings have, Californians or whatever, they intervene on that process, obviously. And then in that case, people put stuff in a reservoir, but that's more of like a tucked away bank account or something. So that's a little bit confusing, though there are other reservoirs. So sorry, Scooter. Sorry, Pen Pal. I'm going on and on and on. Okay, but so this is also a long history, which is also kind of hard for even me to grasp. I'm not just saying you, Pen Pal. But so on this process, obviously, there's also been an intervention because sentient beings say, hey, we need that water. And there was a complicated history. And eventually, and I can't even go, goes so far back that I just haven't been able to dedicate processing time to learn the whole history. But the history that's important, also trying to be efficient. I'm not being efficient in talking to you, Pen Pal, because this is, Scooter, this is a non-professional, this is just a conversation. That's what's great about this, no pressure. But so, now, so there's the idea of a water bear, like Aquarius, right? So eventually this way of life came into being to be a water shepherd or a water bearer. But it was much more like a water shepherd where they would guide the water, mostly as it became its frozen form. But there are some places that said, hey, we need some of that, the vapor. And the water shepherds, now this was it wasn't a chosen profession. It was a chosen way of life because you kind of viewed it as, because water in this part of the universe is not bought or sold. And so it's provided by the water shepherds. And it's much more complicated than that, but that's the thing. And that's the way it has been for a long, 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 long time. Now, eventually, this region kept growing and growing and growing. More and more sentient beings, interstellar travel, all that stuff. And, this had happened before in history, but it kind of got accelerated where people would come and they'd see the water bearers or the water shepherds, and they would tell them how to do their job, or there would be some jealousy, or there'd be different viewpoints of managing water. And for the longest time, the water shepherds, well, they had they were just very respected and very on top of it, and they had some sort of power. But it was probably a positive power, like soft. I mean, it wasn't. I guess it was water soft, Scooter and Pen Pal. But so things got accelerated, and more parts of this region of the universe started to take exception with the water bearers and the ideas behind water. And also, no offense to water bearers, but they had kind of, even, what is it? Someone once said, on a comic that Scooter quoted that with, water-based power, comes, I don't know. They started to feel there was some sort of disengagement too, or at least that was the messaging going out. And it got to the point where there were so many disagreements that the water bearers said, you know what, if you think you can do it better and you can arrive on some sort of consensus around the water within the ultimate water law, which is that the water can't be bought or sold or rented, they said, nice try. And there's all sorts of algorithms and stuff, but so they said, good luck with that see and never kind of thing. And they left. And obviously that created a lot of a vacuum in the water power. And there was a lot of disagreements, some where people were raising their voices and steam was coming out their ears. And eventually, Pen Pal, I don't even remember how I got involved in this, but eventually I found myself working with the water regents who, holy cow, Pen Pal. Now, this is where I really feel like, one, I have a name tag. and it says Stan on it. And then it doesn't have a title. It has a symbol like I'm like a trusted steward of the water. I work for the water region. I am the water region's like sidekick, and I wouldn't say sidekick in a professional sense and not a sort of comic sense. And so the water region eventually said, hey, let's stop the arguing over the water, and let's stop the changing, or a lot of people said, well, if we could just change the laws. Because the water region saw two things that they explained to me, which were, one, a bit of a loophole in the water law, but and a huge opportunity, but also a deep-held belief that water is, and I don't think the water bears had the same thing, but the water region always goes back to the idea of water and gold. And that, water, and that was the thing that the water region used to kind of say, maybe we should be trusted with this, because the water bears, there was a lot of waste of water. And water was wasted because it was spilled, or there were just some inefficiencies with the water bears. And what the water region realized is that waste falls outside of the buying and selling of water. That was wasted water. It was part of the algorithms. It's like water that doesn't even exist. And that we're able, because again, you say, well, why, if water's gold, you can't, that's the kind of arguments the region would make. You're going to give it gold away. You just spill gold and then leave it there. And that could be a way to keep this thing efficiently moving if we had access to some of the waste, the water waste, to be able to sell that waste, I guess, and deliver at a higher speed. And again, this is all stuff that would fall into, Scooter would say, just spreadsheet numbers, which just happens to be many things I'm good at, pen pal. So not only do I have a name tag, I've earned my name tag. So water is not being wasted. The water waste has been reduced, and what is wasted is used to facilitate our whole enterprise. And we also, now this is another place where the water region said, and if we increase the volume of water we're shepherding, the waste would therefore increase at the same rate. And so we're kind of looking at it like water's a volume business. I laugh when I say that. And I just really hope, Scooter, you hear this, because I'm being fully utilized in a role. Scooter, like a lot of times, I guess I never told you this, but I wasn't feeling great about, I don't know, we fell into something, and now I feel really comfortable. I have a mission. It uses a lot of the things, solid state and vacuum tube technologies. And I have this name tag, and I just want to give you because this is the thing, Scooter. This is what I've been building, pen pal. We don't need a professional relationship anymore. We're free. We're now going to be free of that, and we can just be friends. And I know a lot of times people say that in another way to you, especially, Scooter. They don't mean, and you say, well, do they really mean we're going to be friends? But we're already friends. But now we don't have the extra distract. So it's just great news, Scooter. So now we could be friends. I'm dreaming about, professional friends. Sorry, Stan. Well, yes, sister. Sorry, I was sleeping, sister. Okay, there's a drip on the ship. Is it a drip on the ship that'll cause a water? Sorry, sister. I was thinking of Susie. It sounded very Susian. So there's a drip on the ship. Okay, so I have to find the drip. Okay, sister. You got it. It's a drip of a dripping sound, or a drip of okay, it's just a dripping sound. Okay. So I'm going to have to listen. But the good thing is because I have I record the message to my pen pal. So I'm watching the bars because if there's a drip, I'm seeing it. Then I can move the mics around and point it to it, and it doesn't even show up. I'm able to still record for you, pen pal. Okay, so I'm walking around the ship here, and I can see it. It's almost like using like a finding your find thing, where you're tracking a beacon or something. And okay, I'm following these pipes. It'd be great, and not seeing any drips. So I'm wondering, because I'm really covering a lot of the ship, pen pal, but I'm just wondering if there's a more efficient way to do this. Though I'm not, okay, let's check. Okay, let me go to this terminal. I wish Stan was here. But I think if I just type historical level, yeah, okay, historic. Thank God. So glad they installed this common sense computer language or whatever it is, or standard common sense. Okay, so historical levels of liquids. Okay, and it looks like okay, so we are losing some water. And yeah, this seems probably is a leak. Okay, so the computer figured that out. And any idea where the leak is? Oh, in the water system. Okay, thank you. I'm just trying to see. I wonder if it's like it could be condensation. But okay, any abnormal? No abnormal condensation. All right, let's see what I can do here is, I could walk around the ship and that could take forever because it could be anywhere. Okay, let's do this. Let's shut off the water. Hi sisters, just calling in. I'm working on that dripping sound. A lot of strange, you sisters, you notice those sounds. Oh, because you're on a mission, you can't be distracted. I realize that. Let's see. Oh boy. I'm going to have to shut off the water I shut off the water already, sisters? To complete. Okay, thank you, sisters. Okay, there's still a dripping sound going on. Still showing up at the same levels. You know what? If I follow this thing, there's stairways to an attic? I didn't even know the ship had an attic. The ship keeps altering itself. But that's a good sign when it does. Okay, I'm in the attic here. Okay, I can definitely hear. Whoa, boy. I can hear the dripping because you seem to be wearing bedding. Hello, I'm Scooter. I'm the only crew member on the ship. I didn't know anybody else was on the ship other than the sisters and I. And you seem to be similar to my imaginary friend Casper, but you have a soaking wet, dripping sheet. Oh, okay. Well, nice. So you are like Casper. So you've been to the big farm in the sky? Oh, and you've come to the ship. Welcome to the ship. It looks like you got your bedding wet that you're using to cover your nudity. I never understood, somebody might say, have you ever seen a naked Casper before? Oh boy, that's why they wear bedding. Is that the case? Oh, it's twofold. Oh, okay. Am I supposed to, so I can see you? That's one. And two would be, so you can, you're going to run out of water there though. Okay. Well, so you're able to perpetuate it a little bit better than a normal person with normal bedding would. Oh, so that's not ship bedding. That bedding's from the big farm? That's what gives it that ethereal. Is that an ethereal glow? Yeah. So, okay. So you're also dripping water. Yeah. So what's the purpose of the dripping of the water? Because here's the thing. I'm the only crew member on this ship, and I'm supposed to kind of like help the nuns solve the problems. Oh, how do I know the nuns? Oh boy, I don't know if I have time. Like, I mean, you have sounds like you have plenty of time, but for me, I'm still pre-farm, so I'm kind of, even though the majority of the time I don't make the most of my time, I am trying to be more cognizant of, that's like the vocabulary word of the day, cognizant of how I use my time. Oh, sorry, to answer your question. So even though this might not make any sense to you, but maybe it does because you've seen a lot more than me. When I was just a child, those nuns were my teachers, or one was principal technically, and she was a fill-in teacher from time to time. Though most of those memories I put them away in my own attic. Okay, well, interesting. So they were your teachers too. Okay, well, that's good. We weren't in the same, not the same, close, similar, not the same age by a little bit. Okay. Wow. So they were more youthful when they were, but I can't explain to you how it's possible. It's, I would say a miracle of Mother Nature, but I mean, who are we kidding? Am I right? But that's the way to look at it. And why I'm not, well, technically I'm loyal to them. No, I did not volunteer. Somehow I found myself on this job. Maybe you could fill me in. Just let me know if me and the sisters are already farmed, but I don't seem to have an ethereal glow. The situation is I am stuck in some sort of a loop, with the sisters, that and I know. And I am their only crew member. They're on some sort of mission, though they do not seem to be going anywhere. They just keep flying in a very intent way, nonstop. But I honestly don't think they're going anywhere. Maybe they are, and they're just not telling me, but they don't tell me anything except there's a drip on earlier there was like a sucking sound, or we're caught at a red light that won't change, and I need to fix those things. Now, part of me, if that was the only part of the situation, I mean, right? You know what I'm saying is like, it wouldn't be great. I would have said, well, I got big farmed, and they were aware of my behavior on Earth. But the real thing is, if I help the sisters with whatever issue they're facing, then I could go through another a portal, we'll say, a wrinkle in time. Okay. I don't know, but yeah, sure. A wrinkle in time. And then I go to my best friend, who's a freestyle soda machine and a genius and a hero, Stan. And Stan is also in a situation where Stan could use some help. Then I can help Stan. And Stan can resolve whatever issue Stan's facing. And then the loop repeats itself. But I'm remembering things. And I'm hoping eventually Stan remembers things. And, at some point we're going to I have hope. Oh boy, I can't believe I'm saying that out loud, that Stan and I will get out of this loop with the sisters. Why are you here is my question. And when I know how you know the sisters now. Oh, you thought the drip would get on their nerves. Oh, okay. That makes, it did. Mission accomplished. Oh, you were going to do it forever. Okay. That makes, I get what you're saying, but then you'd have to drip. I shut the water off. So, I could turn it back on, because you're like, interesting. You can't, I mean, I guess you couldn't bring an unlimited supply of water. That makes sense. So you just have to go and the ship recycles its own water. But so, yeah, you'd have to, so you have to keep dipping your blankets in water. So you'd have to be here the whole time. I mean, I'll tell you what, they don't like it. I don't know if they, as far as I know, it's just slightly bothering them. Oh wait, you have another question? So I'm in a perpetual loop and I'm their only crew member. So yeah, they are, I guess, to use your terminology, they are stuck with me as their only crew member as the situation looks perpetually, yes, and they're perpetually going nowhere. So yeah, I guess you don't, I guess you don't need to wait a second, I'm sorry, what did you say? Oh, so having me as a crew member is probably punishment enough, yeah. I guess like I'm a lot like one big drip. You're hilarious. You're surprised that. But anyway, I get it. So you're relieved of duty, I guess. That's always funny to say. Have you ever said? Do you need to do that when you're a Casper? Be relieved of duty in the giggly way. See, I made you laugh. So I have some positive qualities, just so you know. Don't worry, I won't use them on sisters. They don't laugh at my jokes. So, yeah, great to meet you. Here's the thing. I'm going to close my eyes because I have a feeling this is what will help me to portal back to Stan. Let me send the computer a message to turn the water back on. I'm going to close my eyes. Can you leave me with your blankets? And just put them over I'll go under while you go out the other way. That way I won't see you that's a funny thing to say, that a Casper en natural. Casper in a Casper's birthday suit. These are things I would never thought I would have thought of, especially because Casper. Anyway, just put the blankets over my head and that I'm sure. Oh, thank you. Scooter, why do you have blankets over? Stan, so glad to be here. Scooter, did you get my messages? Stan, I did get your messages. They kind of downloaded. Yeah, I guess I was under that blanket listening to them. And so I'm so happy for you. Scooter, are you happy that we don't have to have a professional relationship? I mean, I guess so. I mean, if you're happy, Stan, I mean, I guess that means we get to play and do stuff and have fun. So, yeah, I see why you're enthusiastic about it. Yeah, Scooter, we could probably plan out some fun because I still have a lot of big jobs to do with this water situation. Yes, Stan, as your friend, though, this is like friendly convo. Then what's your next job coming up that not professionally, just friends talking? Well, Scooter, this is my idea, so I don't know if you could give me some friendly encouragement. But I came up with the idea of a water draft because we were finding. So if you understood the stuff with the water, that we're collecting, and we are able to monetize percentage of the water waste. We also decided, well, if there was a way of life for the water bearers, why shouldn't it be a way of life for everybody? And so we had a water draft, and because if water's free and it can't be sold, except for the water waste that was already part of all the laws, then everyone should work together. Basically, Scooter, every year you would be responsible for moving the amount of water you consume every year. And you could do that every year, or you could do it, it doesn't take that long, actually, Scooter. But, people don't like the idea, but then they say, well, okay, it's not, it's a requirement for getting your water. And so everybody helps shepherd the water. And obviously the only people that wouldn't benefit from that would be people that buy water waste. Oh, so you kind of helped create a the water waste market, which is not, water waste might be, here's a free idea, Stan. Even though it's excess unaccounted for water, EAW, because water waste just sounds not great. Scooter, you're right. I'm putting it through the Regent, and it looks like this idea is increasing the value of the excess water. Okay, so you're making the system more efficient. You're speeding up the process. And most people will have to work at helping shepherd water. So you have now a workforce. Seems like you really put some efficiency into this, Stan. You're really Scooter, did you notice my name tag? I did notice it, Stan. I was just hoping to compliment you on it later because it's very impressive. Scooter, I mean, yeah, it's I don't know what it's made of, Scooter, but it sticks right to me. I think it's magnetic or something. Well, geez, Stan, I mean, you're really getting used to maximum. I mean, I guess it's cool. I'm happy for you as your friend. But, Scooter, what is it? Well, as your friend, not as a professional. I'm just confused about a couple things, because I know you so well as friends. Uh-oh, Scooter, it seems like you're going to rain on my parade. Well, that's the water, that's funny, Stan, but, no, I was just confused. So, any idea where the water bears went? Scooter, we don't have that information because they were kind of like a society almost. It was a way of life. So no, we don't have that information. They said see you never, like TJ does. Okay, well, that's cool. That's a cool reference. I get it. Any idea what, other than it being a way of life, why they did the job or whatever, or why they did it? Scooter, I think it brought its own meaning. That's what I heard. It said it was a way of life, meaning it gave their life meaning, which I guess I can relate. Well, I'm having trouble with that a little bit, Scooter. Huh, interesting. You're having, like, are all your vacuum tubes functioning? Scooter, what are you saying? No, I was just wondering. Scooter, everything's functioning. I'm functioning at maximum capacity, Scooter. Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Just as a friend, I was just wondering, when you say, hey, are you feeling all right? And you're feeling all right, but someone asks you that. Scooter, in your case, isn't it, are you upset about something? And you say, no, I feel great. Yes, and I guess that would be the better example. So here's one last question, Stan, that I'm wondering about. So the regent that you're working with, right? They were calling it water waste, huh, Stan? Scooter, they were. And I was just wondering, though, was it really water? Like, so if I'm imagining this, right? So there's water bears in my mind. Now, I know this might not be accurate, Stan. And they have, like, big clay pots. Maybe they're goddesses or gods, but they still have pots, and the water's splashing and flowing, and they're carrying it through space. I know that's not exactly what happened. And you're saying, okay, that water spilled, and you found a way, I guess because it's in the vacuum of space, that you could collect that, or you're just using the spreadsheet, which is fair enough. The water's somewhere. So that's what I mean. If the water's somewhere, where did the waste go? Well, Scooter, I'm not sure what I understand exactly what you mean. It's now accounted for. Right, but if we were in a movie called The Christmas Carol, right, and close your eyes, Stan. Maybe I'm Barnaby or whoever. Scooter, there's no Barnaby in that. Are you sure about that? Okay, maybe I'm Mr. Pickwick. Okay, Scooter, I understand you're my friend and you're coming to tell me something. So imagine the water. Scooter, you really, you got water. I mean, I guess you are into water. Yeah, Stan, I'm into water, man. So I'm just wondering, if there's I don't know which those order that, Scrooge went on that visit. I know there was a Scrooge in that, though. And who is his name? Jim Dandy, his son? Scooter, it's not Jim Dandy. You're being silly. Scooter, also, Stan, I know you could communicate with me while you're working. So, Scooter, you're right. But I could, maximize my... Well, yeah, but we're maximizing our friendship. Okay, Scooter, you're making me feel torn. Yeah, that's what friends do sometimes with work. Okay, so what if one of the worlds we went to with one of those three, the guy with the hairy chest and the torch, and said, "Hey, look over here. If I shine my torch on this water, and you could see inside it because my torch is actually an electron microscope or something. There's a whole world in this drop of water." And then, he explains stuff much better than me in the in the movie. And then we go with Carol Kane, and she takes us on a zip line. And, I don't know, maybe there's some sort of water world we dive into, or there's some sort of water show. Yeah, I don't know. That one I don't have. I only have 2 out of the 3, I guess, Stan. But, using water and it covering our skins and jumping in and out and splashing. And I guess we're made up of water. I don't know. And then we meet up with the other person. I don't know who that is. But whatever. They, how come I can only remember there's there's a third present, past, and present, future. But I don't know. There's a third one. Maybe it's in the one from Star Kid, the one, the workout video one. That would be the past, because I remember the hook of that song. But here's the thing, Stan. What if I don't know if, I know the answer is probably, well, it could be unknown. Could there be microplanets and like a micro universes that are much smaller than micro machines? So we're talking way smaller than, this is just something I just thought of. But do we know if there's microplanets? Because then a drop of water waste to them would be like this whole nebula thing. Scooter, it's quasar. Stan, looks like we need sorry, I just had those questions. I just wanted to get them off my chest. We're friends, but we're not, you're the one working for the water region. I'm just your friend. Scooter, are you feeling like you need a job? I don't, right now, I'm your friend without a job, Stan. Maybe we could play around. Because maybe I just asked too many questions and I dropped the ball as your friend. Scooter, you're right. But I do need to, well, Stan, have you heard the idea of micro breaks and like Tabata, Pomodoros? Scooter, yes, I know what you're referring to. Well, what if we take a micro joy break? Because you seem so happy. Let's get back to doing something fun and happy. Not as a distraction, but as a break from all that talk. Well, that'd be nice, you Scooter. This is why I miss you. Like hide and seek? No, I was thinking of this game because your name tag is so impressive, but it looks like heavy. I really just want to feel how heavy it is, I don't think, I don't need a name tag or anything. Obviously, my behavior speaks for itself. Scooter, yeah, you don't need a name. Your body language is name tag enough. But here's the idea. We play name tag toss. And when the name tag's in the air, the person that threw it has to say a name and a job. And we just toss it back and forth. Okay, Scooter. Okay, I'm taking it off. And Tila, leader of the rebellion. Oh, Stan, that was a good one. I caught it, too. Yeah, Scooter, please don't drop my name tag. It looks like the floor's soft, just in case it gets dropped. But I will try not to drop your name tag. Okay. I guess I'm going to throw it back to you. Mount of leader of the rebellion. Oh, Scooter, so is that, do I need to? No, you can do whatever you want, Stan. Okay, Scooter, you ready? Yeah, I'm ready, Stan. Okay, there it is. Luigi, plumber. Oh, Stan, I got it. I caught it. That's a good one, Stan. I mean, I'm going to keep playing this way then. I guess you're the leader. Mario, plumber. Oh, Stan, you didn't catch the name tag. It just bounced off you and hit the floor. Yeah, Scooter, don't, yeah, Scooter. Don't pick it up, though. I was just thinking, did you say, you were calling them water bears, not water bearers? I'm going to take a step away from the name tag over to by you, Scooter. Did you say, well, I said, I guess I dropped the R, Stan, but I was referring to water bearers, but water bears sounds very cute and very drippy. Yes, Scooter, kind of like sponges. Like if you dip a water bear in the water, there would be a lot of technical waste like we were talking about. And that made me think of the way you described the water bears as being, but Scooter, here's the thing. I'm thinking, here's the thing with being a friend with you, Scooter, and being a worker, friends and coworkers, I guess. You were kind of showing me that friendship's kind of inefficient. Well, your friend is inefficient, but I don't know what you're getting at, Stan. Well, Scooter, that's where that's where you get to things by your inefficiency has shown me. Friendship's not supposed to be efficient all the time. There's no way to maximize. I thought us not working together would maximize our friendship, but I realized our friendship didn't change at all. And that's it's not fixed either, though, which is even more confusing. So you're saying our friendship's not a fixed thing, but our friendship can't be changed. No, not that simple, Scooter, but for the time being, that makes sense. But that our friendship is definitely not, or friendship in general in your experience, and I guess mine, is not always the most efficient thing. Right, Scooter, friendship efficiency, everybody would just laugh. Even me, I'm laughing. Yes, Dan, I can sense you laughing. But that made me think of, like, if friendship's not supposed to be efficient, like, what if efficiency can't be applied to water either? Not even efficient or inefficient. Efficiency doesn't apply to friendship or water. Like water is as water does. Scooter, is that from a movie? It sounds like something. Yeah, no, I don't know, but like just popped in my head when you said that, Stan. Scooter, I think I've been delusional about this. I was so excited to have a name tag and to be of maximum use. Like, so you're saying the clay pots, right? They soak up water. The water also evaporates. The soaked up water eventually evaporates. Water spilled. And like you said, the water goes where it needs to be, or the need, as we know from history, that the water needs to be for the need to be there. Okay, Stan, but except for like at a desert, Scooter, come on, that's not true. Like, but even a desert, it'd be hard to say. I guess you could say they're making the most of the water, but I don't know if you'd use efficient either. I guess so, Stan, because you'd say, why don't you just move, right? You're right, Scooter. But so I'm in a pickle now. Scooter, I don't know. There's something about that name tag that I don't like. Okay, Stan, well, I'm going to tell you something. You're not going to remember it. We're caught in a loop and we're dealing with concentrated delusion. And I think that your name tag is made of a concentrated delusion. Okay, Scooter, that seems interesting. So, Scooter, I'm not sure what we should do about this water regent situation. Well, here's what I think, Stan. First, I think we should launch your name tag into the quasar, because won't it then be ejected as its base elements? Okay, Scooter, I can do that. I can use my nanos to build a rocket on my name tag. Oh, here's the thing. You're going to build. So if it's going through space, could we do some skywriting in space? Well, Scooter, Scooter, we could do that. Okay. I think, Stan, you had some of the basics here in that maybe we got to trust that the water, I think this situation will resolve we get rid of the delusion, but we send a message to the water bearers. Maybe you do also a bear and a water bearer drawing, but say, water bearers, please return. We need you. Water bearers, we need you. Maybe even do a misspelling so that it makes him laugh. But I think there's opportunity here, Stan, that you created an opportunity that we just got to put the waste back into it. I guess that's where my expertise came in handy. Scooter, we were working in a professional relationship the whole time and a friendship. Again, I think those maybe don't apply to our relationship, those words, just like efficiency might not apply to water. And so by getting the delusion out of here and the water bears will come back maybe, but pretty quickly without your help, I don't think the water regent's going to be able to manage. And I think the water draft itself is a pretty good idea. Like the water bearers might like that. Maybe that's where they could be, like their way of life, they could share it with, like if I was a water bearer, that's what I'd want. Hey, yeah, you do the work and I'll explain to you how grateful I am to be here doing the work with you. And that it'll work out. Like, it's like almost like we got to leave this situation. Scooter, just look at the skywriting. It's good, Stan. That's beautiful. I love how you made my misspelling saying those drawings. And Scooter, it'll stay up for a while the way I did it. And now the name tag is launching into the heart of the quasar where it'll be. And I'm feeling great now, Scooter. So you're saying we could just trust in the efficiency and inefficiency of water here. Of course the water bearer is going to come back, but even if they don't, Scooter, people are going to realize that everybody, that it'll all work out just fine. Yeah, I think this was one of these situations that's going to resolve itself without us being in the way of it. So we're going to rest now, Stan. Imagine me and you side by side in a pool on a couple of floats, best friends, chilling out, floating, rocking in the water gently, rocking and rocking off to dreamland. Good night, Stan. Good night, pen pal. Good night, everybody. All right, I want to thank everybody who became a patron recently. Squash, Lisa and Kelly, thank you. Thanks, and good night. Andrea, Emily, and Jillian, thank you. Thanks, and good night. Matt, Regina, and EJ, thank you. Thanks, and good night. Nick, Lisa, and Andres, thanks, and good night. Tony, Aubrey, and Gertrude, thank you. Thanks, and good night. Heather, Andrew, and Kristen, thanks, and good night. Strellen, Lewis, and Kirsty, thank you. Thanks, and good night. Lauren, April, and Jack, thank you. Thanks, and good night. Maddie, First, and Myrna, thanks, and good night. Cara, Jamie, and Mitchell, thank you. Thanks, and good night. And Sarah and Lauren, thank you. Thanks, and good night. Thanks so much for supporting the show directly on Patreon. The show is free and exists because of people that support the show directly or support our sponsors. We grow as a podcast and flourish as a podcast by spreading the word about the show or being a part of the community and reaching out and connecting, or just letting people know about podcasts in general. You don't even have to help with sleep with me. Show people that haven't, just show them in a low pressure way how you use a podcast app and what stuff you listen to. And then maybe you say, hey, well, what are you into? Let me search model trains or model planes. Or model weather, model trains probably have model weather vanes. So whatever it is, it could be whatever, so yeah, that's it. And we got some Tuck You In sponsors that have enabled us to grow the show, or grow the archives we have for free. So thanks so much.